Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do here on the Jam Session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Money making Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming off a good Saturday. I cashed my NBA Jam Session play of the night in no sweat fashion. Oklahoma City, the Thunder Buddies, our favorite money-making team, got back to regular schedule programming yesterday as they beat up on the Atlanta Hawks. Terrible spot for Atlanta, coming off a back end of a back-to-back with travel. Oklahoma City was looking for their first dominant win of the season. They beat them up. Shout out to them, man. No sweat, easy cash there. We are now 3-2 this season on that play, looking to keep momentum rolling forward. We cashed our behind the woodshed blowout winner last night with the Denver Chicken Nuggets. Similar spot for them coming back. They were at home where we loved them, where they go stupid, dummy, crazy. And it was a terrible spot for Phoenix on a back end of a back-to-back with travel, heading into the elevation. Man, the Nuggets took them boys behind the woodshed. So we cashed those two plays. The plays I lost was the Charlotte Hornets money line. I got a little greedy. They did cover the point spread, so there's a small silver lining there. If you know me, if you're an OG here on this show, you know I love my money line dogs in the NBA. And I thought that was a great place to attack our first one. They led the entire game, and they pooped it in the last 2 minutes of it. Is what it was. Be what it be. We will continue to attack those all season long. But solid day yesterday. Yesterday's yesterday, though. We keep momentum rolling forward into today. Really good card today on a Sunday, man. Got the NFL and the NBA with solid cards, man. I'm gonna do some damage today. If you believe me, hop on with me over at Pickdawgz Premium. All I ask is y'all smash that like button. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. 3-2 on the NBA play of the day. Thus far this season, 2-1 yesterday on the premium side. Today, I have my biggest play of the week, my NBA Jam Session play of the week. This is the most money I've put on an NBA game thus far this season. There's a play on today's card that I think we have to attack, and no reason to go light. So I got a pretty penny on that game today, but I got a healthy card today. I really like today's action across all sports. Let's make some money on a money-making Sunday. And without further ado, let's do what we do. I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts and opinions on every game on the card today. So let's do exactly that, man. And without further ado, let's hop right into tonight's or today's. Got some day action. NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. First game on the board. We got the Brooklyn Nets out on the road facing the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio, huge home favorites in this one. They're laying 12. This will be the Spurs home opener. First game at home thus far this season. First, let's talk injuries. Sohan still out. De'Aaron Fox still out. Luke Cornett is out. And Kelly Olynyk is out for the San Antonio Spurs. No huge injuries for Brooklyn. Nothing notable. Brooklyn, they played 2 games already this season. They got blitzed by Charlotte out on the road in Charlotte, their first game of the year. But I did like how they played Cleveland at home in their last game. They lost, but they covered 131-124. Brooklyn, they're one of the worst teams in the league. We all know it. But the question with them a lot this season is going to be, how bad are they? And can they fight enough to keep it within the point spread? Looking at the other side, we got San Antonio. San Antonio is an up-and-coming team. You know, this is a swag team. They got one of the best players in the NBA in Victor Wembanyama. He looked dominant in that game 1 against the Dallas Mavericks out on the road. He had the 40 points. They dominated Dallas. They won that game 125-92. Their next game, they were out on the road facing the Pelicans. They won that game. That game went to overtime. They failed to cover. They won it 120-116. Here's the thing. I think that first game has San Antonio overrated and overvalued. Are we really ready to lay this many points with San Antonio at home? This is a Denver Nuggets style line. This is a Oklahoma City Thunder style line. You know what I mean? Like, this is a Clippers at home style line. Are we ready to lay this many points with San Antonio? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking. I understand how bad the Nets are. I understand it's the home opener for San Antonio. I definitely think they can blow the doors off of Brooklyn. but is it fair to expect them to do so? Until they show me that, I'm going to say they're overrated and overvalued because there's nothing to support to say that they are. So with that being said, I'm grabbing the points with Brooklyn. San Antonio's the better team. They can blow the doors off of Brooklyn, but in my mind, this just feels like a 7-8 point win for San Antonio, which is still a good win. They're going to be in the locker room high-fiving, cheesing, feeling good, feeling comfortable. 12? I'm not ready to lay 12 with them yet. Not yet. I think that game one has them overvalued. Give me Brooklyn plus the points. I think they can score enough points to keep this game somewhat competitive. I'm not rushing to the window in this game, however. I'm just letting y'all know I'm not rushing to the window. I'm just kind of telling y'all my thoughts and opinions here on these first couple games of this season. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we head over to Detroit, where the Pistons, 3.5 point home favorites over the Boston Celtics, total 228.5. Home opener for the Detroit Pistons. This will be their first game at home. They started their season out on the road at Chicago. They lost that game 115-111. Chicago at home. That was their home opener. Chicago's a little sneaky team. You got to keep an eye on Chicago this year. Just because we don't know a whole lot about them yet. They're just a young team. So they lost their first game out on the road. They were laying points in that one. I told you in that game, are we really ready to lay multiple possessions on the road with Detroit? It's not the spots we typically love them. Their next game, they went on the road to Houston. They won that game outright. That's a spot where we love the Pistons. They were getting like 4.5, 5 points, and we love them in those spots. Step-up games against good teams, getting value with them. Those are the spots where we love the Pistons. Today, they're favored at home against a good team. Boston hasn't looked great to start their season. They lost their first game of the year at home to the 76ers, 117-116. They allowed Edgecombe and Maxey to get off in that game. They then went out on the road to New York, lost that game 105-95. Man, I understand why Detroit's favored in this game. It's their home opener. It's a good spot for them coming home. I'm going to lean towards Detroit laying the points. I wish it was under a bucket. I wish it was under a bucket. I wish it was 2.5, 3. Expecting them to win by multiple possessions still makes my stomach hurt a little bit. We watched this team grow up last year, and we like this team. They should be a top 5 team in the East this year. It's early, though, and with early expectations, those making me nervous. I like the spot for them tonight, though. I wish it was under a bucket, but at 3.5, 4, I would still lean towards Detroit, and I do think they win this game if you want to put them in a money line parlay or something like that today. We'll see what happens, but I like the spot for Detroit at home at the crib. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks out on the road facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland laying 6.5 on Milwaukee in this one, total 235.5. Milwaukee is 2-0 this season. They're also 2-0 ATS. They beat up on Washington at home in their first game of the season, 133-120. They were laying 8.5 in that one. And then their their last game, they went on the road to Toronto and beat them 122-116. That was a really good game. Unfortunately, I was on the other side. I had Toronto in that one. I was surprised by how well Milwaukee played on the road late in that game. I was surprised. They played really well down the stretch. Cleveland, they are 1-1 straight up, 0-2 ATS. They have played their first 2 games out on the road this season. They played New York, lost that game 119-111. They had beat New York all 4 games last year. New York got their revenge at home opener. New York led the game the entire way. Cleveland fought back in like the third, kind of took a 1-point lead. Then the Knicks locked back in, won that game. Then they went and played the Nets. Stayed in New York, played the Nets. They won the game, failed to cover. Tonight, this is their home opener. Looking at how these two teams have matched up over the past couple matchups, the Cleveland Cavaliers have won 5 straight over Milwaukee. Their last 2 were dominant wins, a 12-point win in Milwaukee and a 23-point win in Cleveland. The 3 prior to that were extremely competitive. I think they were 1-point wins or something like that for Cleveland. I'm going to take the Cavs here in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Cleveland's a different team, monster and animal at home at the crib. They had the second best home record in the NBA last season. And I remember them being, especially first half of the season, a dominant money-making home ATS team. And I'm kind of getting that feeling that they returned to that early in this season, especially at home. I just think this is a good spot to fade Milwaukee. I think Cleveland is multiple possessions favorites in this game for good reason. I like the Cavs. I'm going to lay the points here in this one. We keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the New York Knicks out on the road facing the Miami Heat. Heat 2.5-point home dogs. Total 227.5. First, let's talk a couple injuries in this game. For the Knicks, on the injury report is Miles McBride. He's game time decision. Mitchell Robinson will miss this game. Josh Hart is game time decision. And Karl Anthony Towns is game time decision. It looks like the Knicks are going to be one of those injury report manipulation teams this year. Keep an eye out on them, man. I hate these style teams that just going to have people on the injury report and you're going to have to play the wait game or jump the news. I hate that, but that's what this show is for. That's what we try to do. That's what I try to help y'all do. If you don't know, for Miami, Tyler Hero's out for an extended amount of time. Terry Rozier, do we need to talk about him? He's gone. So New York is 2.5-point road favorites. I would lean towards New York. I think they're the better basketball team. Miami did play well in their last game. They beat Memphis in Memphis. That was a good win for them. Not only did they beat Memphis, they took them behind the woodshed on a Friday night in Memphis. That's not easy to do. So that was a good sign for Miami. Not a game I'm rushing to bet. Everybody knows I'm a Knicks hater. The only way I put money on the Knicks is if I love them. I don't love them tonight. I think they win. I think they're the better team. With their injury report looking the way it's looking, the way that Miami looked last game, I still like the Knicks here, but I'm not rushing to throw any money on them today, if you follow. So, see what happens. I'm taking the Knicks here in this game, though, for the show's purposes. We keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Charlotte Hornets out on the road facing the Washington Wizards. Wizards are favored, laying 2.5, total 237.5. This is crazy. Wizards shouldn't be favored over anybody. I just believe that. I'm taking the Hornets outright money line. Come on, Charlotte. It's not a great spot for Charlotte. And I understand the spot dictates why the Wizards are favorites. Charlotte's on the back end of a back-to-back with travel. We had them yesterday. They lost yesterday to the 76ers, 125-121 in a hard-fought game. So it's not a great spot to be taking Charlotte. And looking at small sample size of data thus far this season, teams have not played well in the back end of a back-to-back. They just have not played well in this spot thus far this season. Small sample size. We're only, 5 days into the season, but that's why the line is what it is. I believe the Hornets are the better basketball team. They should win this game. I think the Wizards are a little overrated and overvalued because they beat the Mavericks the other day. I think that win had everything to do with the Mavericks, not really anything to do with the Wizards. But shout out to the Wizards, though. Shout out to the Wizards. But in my opinion, this team shouldn't be favored over anybody. Even though it's a bad spot for Charlotte, I love attacking plus money, and I feel like I have to attack it with the better team. And the reason I'm not really worried about the back end in this one is Charlotte, a young team, one of the youngest teams in the league, man. These guys are young, fresh. If there was a team that should be able to overcome a back-to-back situation, it's a team like Charlotte. The teams I worry about on back end of back-to-backs are the older guys. Like we paid the price the other day with Golden State on the back end of a back-to-back with travel following an overtime game. Like, that was just a bad play for me. I'll admit it. But an older team like that, that's a team I'm mainly looking to fade in that spot. Charlotte, I think they can overcome it. Give me the 2.5. And I'm going to attack the outright money line with the Hornets. Keep it rolling. Next game up, we got the Indiana Pacers out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Total 228.5. This will be the Timberwolves home opener. They started their season out on the road. They beat the Portland Trail Blazers 118-114. Won and covered in that game, I believe. Their next game, they went on the road to the Lakers. Luka Magic happened. They got beat 128-110. They come home opener here in this one. playing the Indiana Pacers. It's a bad spot for the Pacers on a back end of a back-to-back with travel, leaving Memphis. They got blown out in Memphis yesterday, 128-103, now heading to Minnesota. They played the Thunder extremely tough in their first game of the season, double overtime game. This will be their third game in 4 nights. It's a terrible spot for Indiana. That's why this line's as big as it is. Minnesota home opener. They likely kicked the crap out of Indiana in this spot. We saw Mathurin get hurt yesterday. Nimhard's hurt. Halliburton's still out. The Timberwolves match up well. They got multiple guys that kind of play big with a guy like Siakam. It's just a terrible matchup here for Indiana. Minnesota in their home opener should take them behind the woodshed. Give me Minnesota. I'll lay the points here in this one. Keep it rolling. We got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs, 1.5-point home favorites in this one. I'm on Toronto. They're the better team. Until the Mavs get a point guard, until the Mavs show me some signs, man, we got to fade them. We just got to fade them. We just have to fade them. They have no point guard. They got Cooper Flagg running point guard 3 games into, or, this is his 3rd game of his NBA career. He's never been a point guard. You go back and look at him at Duke and stuff like that, bro. He was a small forward, maybe shooting guard at times, but he played big there, man. And when you start to look at some advanced numbers for the Mavs, I don't want to overreact. It's 2 games, but they're the worst team in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are the worst team in the NBA through 2 games. Offensively and defensively on both ends of the floor, they're the worst team in the league. So, and Toronto's a good team. They just kind of let that game go the other night at home against Milwaukee. But I liked how they looked in their first game on the road at Atlanta. And I think they look good here in this spot as well. We're not getting plus money with Toronto in this spot for a reason. They're dogs, but they're not giving us plus money. That's even money. Until the Mavs figure something out, until they show me some signs offensively, this team feels like a team just rolling the ball out there and saying, let's see what happens. No offensive sets, no ball movement. And those were some of the key things they said they were trading Luka away for. Better ball movement, more intensity on defense, and getting other guys more opportunities. But now they don't have anybody to initiate an offense. It's just stand around, let AD shoot mid-range jumpers and pray, and then everybody else just kind of freelance and get theirs. That's not good basketball. It's not winning basketball, man. And it hasn't looked good through 2 games. Until I see signs from Dallas, I'm fading them. Toronto's just playing with the more cohesiveness, and I think they come here and win this game. Fade the Mavs. Give me Toronto straight up on the money line here in this one. We got the Clippers laying 7.5 on the Blazers. Total 224.5. Lean towards the Clippers laying the 7.5. Clippers were dominant ATS last season at home at the crib. We printed money with the Clippers this last season at home. They were 29-14-1 ATS at home last year, covering in 67% of their games, only behind Oklahoma City. I know they looked terrible in their first game of the year against the Jazz, but they did bounce back in their last game. Portland, they're not the same team on the road as they are at home. They did look good in that last game, but it was a terrible spot for Golden State. 3rd game in 4 nights, back end of a back-to-back with travel following an overtime game. There's just a really favorable spot for Portland. I still don't love everything going on with the Blazers. Chauncey Billups, of course, their head coach, suspended indefinitely. He was just arrested. Tiago Splitter's their head coach. I do kind of like that. I do like that, man. Be your homework on Tiago Splitter, man. Coming out of that Spurs tree. He spent a lot of his career in San Antonio. LeBron banged on his ass. Hey! If you know, you know. But lean towards the Clippers. I think they're the better team. Don't like the spot for the Blazers. And I think all that drama and thing, they're going to catch up to the Blazers here soon. And on the road in LA, where they have an unfair advantage because of their home arena, I could see this kind of being that spot. Give me the Clips here in this one. Last and final game of the night, we got the Los Angeles Lakeshore Lakers out on the road facing the Sacramento Kings. Kings 2.5-point home dogs in this one. I'm going to lean towards Sacktown in this one. The Lakers were a dominant home ATS team last year. I don't really love laying points with them on the road. I think they're the better team. They should win this game. I'm just kind of playing the number. Lakers kind of lighting the ass inside, and if Sabonis has a monster game here in this one, I think the Kings can compete here in this one. That's just kind of my thoughts. I believe this is Sacramento Kings home opener. It's a good spot for them. Lakers coming in. I think Sacramento plays them tough tonight. I do. I don't take the Lakers every game. I take them in spots where it's favorable, spots where I really like them, spots where I don't. I'll tell you the truth, and this is one of those. I like Sacramento tonight. Hashtag like the bean. We'll see what happens, but give me the Kings here in our last and final game of the night. And that concludes this episode of Jay's NBA Jam Session. I appreciate each and every one of you that continue to tune in, watch these shows and these episodes. Of course, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for both in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money Making Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, we cashed our NBA Jam Session play of the night. In no sweat fashion, Oklahoma City took them boys behind the woodshed. We cashed our behind the woodshed blowout winner with the Denver Chicken Nuggets. Come on, man. We should have went 3-0 on the premium side. I got a little greedy. I took the Charlotte Hornets outright money line. They should have won the game. They covered the point spread. They did not win the game outright, so I went 2-1 officially. But good play. They just couldn't pull it out outright money line. So keep momentum rolling forward into today. I got my NBA game of the week tonight. It's my favorite play thus far this season in the NBA. It's the most money I've put on an NBA game thus far this season. You guys can scoop that play up for $30 over at Pickdawgz Premium. It's NFL Sunday too, though, ladies and gentlemen, and I love today's NFL card. I'm hitting it pretty hard, so you guys can scoop up my NFL plays over there as well. If you hop on something long term, you get everything included. So think about hopping on something long term, man. Let's do what we do, which is kick the crap out of the books. Appreciate y'all more than y'all know, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See you tomorrow. I'm out of here. Peace.